Hello, family.
Join large-scale
I hope
battles
you
with
enjoy this
military.
video. It's uh, it's it's put together really well. I think you're gonna like it. Like, subscribe, follow. Please leave comments. I will comment back to you. I love comments, especially on videos.
Vehicles. The online action game War Thunder has received a major update.
We have informed the
Here we
federal
go.
workforce that if they're working for the federal government, they must show up to the office on time and on schedule. If they don't agree by February 6th, they will be terminated. Today, I'm also signing an executive order to begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay.
In this video today, President Trump issues an ultimatum to federal workers who are refusing to turn to in-person work. Pete Hegseth is looking to hold General Mark Milley.
They're going to return to work, or they're going to be fired or suspended with pay. And I'll tell you what, these migrants have no fucking idea. Sorry to curse, but they have no idea what Guantanamo Bay is like. They used to coming over this country demanding stuff. Wait till they end up in Guantanamo Bay. No phones, no mail, no lawyer, no nothing.
Accountable, and illegal aliens will find a new location that they will be deported to. These stories and more in this video today, but let's start with that major announcement that comes moments after President Trump signed the Lincoln-Riley Act.
We have informed the federal workforce, which they've looked to do for many years, that if they're working for the federal government, they must show up to the office on time and on schedule. We don't want them. We don't want them to work from home because, as everyone knows, most of the time they're not working, they're not very productive, and it's unfair to the millions of people in the United States who are in fact working hard from job sites and not from their home. As federal employees, they must meet a high standard. They're representing our government. They're representing our country. If they don't agree by February 6th to show up back to work in their office, they will be terminated, and we will therefore be downscaling our government, which is something that the last 10 presidents have tried very hard to do but failed. Most of the people we're talking about have not been going to their federal offices in many, many years, from even before COVID, but they have nevertheless been paid. Some have worked, some haven't worked, and most of the studies say that some have just gone through the motions.
Okay, so as you guys know, the media is going to label everything that Trump just said as misinformation and lies. So we're going to show you some of the receipts that he is referencing in this announcement. This comes from the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. This is dated January 15th, where they investigated telework from the Biden administration. I just want to fast forward to two key statements in this entire press release. One comes from Chairman James Comer, where he says, quote, the Biden administration's own data shows that the vast majority of federal office workers around the nation remain at home, either some, most, or all of the time. And that's just the official data. In our telework investigation, we learned that most agencies haven't been effectively tracking when employees are in the office. Throughout our investigation of federal telework, Biden-Harris appointees failed to provide requested data about agency telework. In other words, they don't even know where they're at. They don't know when they're clocking in. They can't provide the information, and they have become absolutely complacent here. You just can't help it.
The Biden administration could care less if they show up to work. All they want to do is just bankrupt America, make it a third world nation, and they were very close to doing it. If Trump didn't get in, it would have absolutely happened. The economy would have crashed. We would have been in a foreign war. It would have just been horrible for the United States. I can't even tell you what bullet we dodged with Donald Trump.
We may ask these people to prove that they didn't have another job during their so-called employment with the United States of America, because if they did, that would be unlawful. As you understand, a lot of people are getting paychecks, but they're actually working other jobs. So they'll have to prove that to us, that they weren't. In any event, we're requiring them to show up to work or be terminated. We think a very substantial number of people will not show up to work, and therefore our government will get smaller and more efficient, and that's what we've been looking to do for many, many decades, frankly.
It's been 2 years since that disaster struck. The city's population is now sparse. In an effort to escape the monsters, you found a ground.
Now, what we are witnessing here in real time is a true paradigm shift within the federal government. By gutting the federal government and only retaining the essentials, the basics, they can get back to creating change and actually impacting the lives of everyday Americans in a positive way. It's similar to when Elon Musk took over Twitter. He fired majority of people at that company, continued to work from home. He wants them in the office. And by the way, let me just say this. America is the only one where our government isn't working in person, right? We have so many people working remotely. And a lot of that comes on the back of COVID, clearly. Now, let me show you an example of how crazy the media can be. This is from a delusional media outlet by the name of Esquire. They say Trump is planning to shrink the federal workforce with buyouts and loyalty tests. Loyalty tests? That's what you guys think this is about? It's not about that. It's about what he was elected to do, which is to shrink the government, stop wasting taxpayer money on things that don't work. And this is part of it. 2.3 million people got this notice. That's a lot of people working for the federal government. Now, let's take a look at the opposite side of the political spectrum. The Epoch Times, who leans right, says Trump admin offers buyouts to nearly all federal employees. And that's exactly what's taking place. Not only is he offering buyouts, guys, it's 7 months of pay. Think about the last time you heard mass firing and they got 7 months of pay. At a minimum, this is generous from the Trump administration, okay? But of course, the media isn't going to talk about that. And that's why I always have to do my research, and you should too. There's times I get things wrong on this show. You guys know that. You guys always remind me in the comment section, which I appreciate. And that's why it's imperative for you to do your own research. And I think one of the best tools to help you do that is Ground News. And this is whatever they want. And this is why Department of Government Efficiency put this up on X. They said, answering the most common question about the deferred resignation offer, you can take the vacation you've always wanted or just watch movies and chill while receiving your full government pay and benefits. This is just hilarious, by the way. And also, Elon Musk followed up and said, clarification of what can be done while receiving full government pay and benefits for 8 months is whatever you like, including obtaining a new job. And then he also said this, worth noting that the 8-month severance offer through the end of the government fiscal year is the most that is legally allowed without Congress passing another appropriations bill. Very generous. And I totally agree. As I asked you guys earlier, when's the last time you heard someone get an offer like that? All right, so let's go to the next major announcement he made after signing the Lincoln-Riley Act, and that is Guantanamo Bay. He has instructed the Department of Defense and Homeland Security to make sure that there are 30,000 beds set up in Guantanamo Bay in order to house illegal aliens that they are deporting from this country. Hear it for yourself.
Today, I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know about it. We have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. Some of them are so bad we don't even trust the countries to hold them because we don't want them coming back, so we're going to send them out to Guantanamo. This will double our capacity immediately, right? And tough. That's a tough place to get out of. Today's signings bring us one step closer to eradicating the scourge of migrant crime in our communities once and for all. And it was just it's just an unforced error.
If a migrant is watching this, an illegal alien, you better leave on your own, because the last place you want to end up is in Guantanamo Bay. I promise you. I did a podcast on Guantanamo Bay. It is brutal. It is the worst prison America has, and it's not even in this country. So that'll tell you that the rules of international law don't apply. So you could be tortured, you could be waterboarded, you could maybe stay there for indefinite, or maybe you could stay there for a heck of a long time before a lawyer ever finds out that you're there. You do not want to go there. Take off, man. Leave now. That's your best bet. Even if you don't have the money, go to the border and get over to Mexico. Man, you do not want to be in Guantanamo Bay.
That we even have to be doing this. Now we need Congress to provide full funding for the complete and total restoration of our sovereign borders, as well as financial support to remove record numbers of illegal aliens.
Again, just another common sense move here from the Trump administration. Let me explain why. Number one, instead of allowing these illegal aliens to sit here in this country, they can immediately get them out, because that was the problem with
there that are housing illegal immigrants, and it's the worst of the worst that are kept there. Many times those who are sent there are gang members, people that have created terrorist activities in the United States of America and have been a real danger and threat to our people. So what we'll be doing is utilizing our resources to expand the capacity there and to make sure that as we continue to do what President Trump has talked about and in deporting people who are here illegally and are making our streets much more dangerous, is that we're going to utilize Guantanamo Bay to a more expansive a purpose, and that we will be going and putting resources there to make sure we have the space to getting people out of this country right away that will make sure our country much more safe.
Now, guys, this is a great example of one of my favorite quotes. All things are possible for the person who believes. And Trump truly believes there is immorally about holding him accountable. He used his rank to play politics and lost. Vance actually responded with, he said this: imagine having lived through the last 10 years, the discretion of Washington, Jefferson, Lee, Roosevelt, and even Lincoln, and then drawn the line at Mark Milley. In other words, in the Pentagon, they have already removed the portraits of George Washington, Jefferson, Lee, Roosevelt, and even Abraham Lincoln, but they don't want Mark Milley's portrait removed. Make that make sense, please. Okay, so here is the opposite side to this situation, where some people are arguing that this does not make any sense because General Mark Milley's personal safety should be considered here. Hear it for yourself.
Well, it's a massive betrayal of our national security. It's a betrayal of General Milley. General Milley was put in the position of our top military officer by Donald Trump, right? He served honorably. He served 44 years in the military. He is a hero. And I mean, Special Forces, 101st Airborne, 10th Mountain Division. This guy is a hero. He's an American hero. Donald Trump, less illustrious military record, even called our heroic war dead at Arlington Cemetery and in Europe, where they died for our freedom, suckers and losers. Now, that's what's going on here. And Mr. Trump is...
That comment's been debunked. He never made that comment. That's some far left lunatic nut that continues the talking point, which America didn't buy, which Donald Trump never said, which I don't believe, and you don't believe either. So I guess they don't work. It doesn't work anymore.
It's taking away a security detail that General Milley needs, because General Milley carried out Trump's order. I think a very wise order to take out Qasem Soleimani, the worst terrorist in the world, the head of the Quds force in the Iran national or their IRGC, their terrorist operation. Soleimani was one of the great sponsors of terrorists in the world, one of the worst. Milley and Bolton were part of the team under Trump who took him out. They need that security. And what's going to happen the next time? Well, the next time Trump tells someone, I think rightly, to take out a terrorist, they're going to think, well, I might be a civilian just walking to the grocery store and these terrorists could come and get me. So it's a terrible betrayal.
Now, the actual betrayal that we should be talking about is how his incompetence led to 13 service members losing their lives due to that disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. And he was never held accountable for that, was never investigated for that, never had to go through a hearing over that. So, yeah, I find that to be laughable if that's the excuse they're going to use to critique this decision from Secretary Pete Hegseth. Now, again, the whole personal safety issue, maybe President Trump and Secretary Hegseth know something we don't that justifies this decision. But I'll be honest with you, I really don't have any sympathy for him, and I think he needs to be held accountable. All right, so answer this question in the comment section below. Do you agree with President Trump's decision to deport illegal aliens to Guantanamo Bay? Let me know what you guys' thoughts are about that in the comment section below.
I'll let you guys comment to me and let me know what you think about that. If Trump is right on sending people to Guantanamo Bay, because Guantanamo Bay is a living hell, Camp X-ray. I can't describe how evil it is to be in that place. It's someplace you never want to end up on the face of this earth. if you live your life 2 lifetimes, you don't ever want to end up there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. God bless. Good luck. I hope all is well with you. Love your family. Continue to watch me on all my platforms. On the Rocky Show on TikTok, Rocky the Dog Show on all other platforms. All right. Rocky Show with 2 Y's, ROCKYY on TikTok, and the Rocky the Dog Show on every other platform: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, uh, you know, Facebook, uh, YouTube, and TikTok, and so on. And have a great day. Take care.